Hello everyone. I welcome all of you to YuktMind's unique initiative 10 minutes and newspaper done. This is the Hindu analysis of 29th June and we have selected 6 UPSC relevant articles for both prelims and mains candidates. You can download the PDF of the gist from our Telegram channel or website Daily Current Affairs tab. First news, biofertilizer scheme gets central government's green light. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs approved the PM Pranam, which is PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Generation, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth scheme. Now, this news comes under the topic of issues related to direct and indirect farm subsidies under GS Paper 3. The new scheme would promote use of nutrient-based biofertilizers for sustainable agriculture. The scheme is aimed at saving the soil and promoting sustainable balanced use of fertilizers and involves the participation of state governments. The center would incentivize those states which would adopt alternative fertilizers with the subsidy that was saved by reducing the use of chemical fertilizers. The urea subsidy scheme will continue. The center said in a release that the scheme included a bouquet of various schemes which would boost farmers' income, strengthen organic natural farming, rejuvenate soil productivity, and ensure food security. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs also approved continuation of the urea subsidy scheme to ensure constant availability of urea to the farmers. The use of nano urea had also increased in the country. Apart from urea subsidy scheme and nano urea plants, 1451 crore rupees has been approved for market development assistance for promoting organic fertilizers from Gobardhan plants. Fermented organic manures, liquid fermented organic manures, phosphate-rich organic manures produced as byproduct from biogas plants or compressed biogas plants set up under umbrella Gobardhan initiative will be promoted. Second news, marching contingents of the three services and a military band will take part in the French Bastille Day parade on July 14 in Paris. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the chief guest of the parade. Now, what is Bastille Day? Bastille Day, celebrated on 14 July, is the National Day of France. The day commemorates the storming of the Bastille Armory fortress and political prison on this day in 1789, a watershed event in the French Revolution. France celebrates the day with a traditional military parade on Champs-Élysées, a historic avenue in Paris, cultural performances and nationwide fireworks. Third news, the Environment Ministry has issued a draft notification detailing a proposed green credit scheme that will incentivize a host of activities including afforestation programs, water conservation, waste management, and remedying air pollution by allowing individuals and organizations to generate green credits. Now, this news comes under the topic of environmental conservation under GS Paper 3. These credits, through a yet to be specified mechanism, can also be traded for money. A green credit program is proposed to be launched at national level to leverage a competitive market-based approach for green credits, thereby incentivizing voluntary environmental actions of various stakeholders. The Green Credit Program will encourage private sector industries and companies as well as other entities to meet their existing obligations which stems from other legal frameworks by taking actions which are able to converge with activities relevant for generating or buying green credits. The government's immediate priority is to create supply via voluntary actions and then create demand by bringing in laws or rules that will incentivize companies and organizations. Unlike carbon markets, where only greenhouse gas emissions were traded, the green credit scheme involves accounting for a wide range of actions. So, green credit scheme is more holistic than the carbon markets. The notification lists out 8 sectors or activities that can qualify for generating credits, like tree plantation based green credit, water based green credit to promote water conservation, sustainable agriculture based green credit to promote natural and regenerative agricultural practices, and land restoration to improve productivity, waste management based green credit to promote sustainable and improved practices. Fourth news, the Union Cabinet clears National Research Foundation Bill to offer strategic direction to research. Now, this news comes under the topic of government policies and interventions for developments in various sectors like scientific research here. The legislation aims to establish the NRF as an apex body to provide high level strategic direction to scientific research in the country under the National Education Policy at an estimated cost of 50,000 crore between 2023 and 2028. The Department of Science and Technology will be the administrative department of the National Research Foundation, which will have a governing board of eminent researchers and professionals. The Prime Minister will be the ex officio president of the board, please note this, and the Union Ministers of Science and Technology and Education ex officio vice presidents. Now, this kind of information can be asked in prelims question statements. The functioning of National Research Foundation will be governed by an executive council chaired by the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India. The new law will repeal the Science and Engineering Research Board established by Parliament in 2008 and subsumes it into the National Research Foundation. According to the Union Minister of State for Science, the NRF is meant to ensure that scientific research was conducted and funded equitably with greater participation from the private sector. Right now, we have eminent institutions like the IITs and IISc that get a bulk of research funding, but state universities get very little, about 10% of the research funds. The NRF will correct this. The NRF will prioritize research funding and the Executive Council will decide on what areas need support. A senior official in the Department of Science and Technology said a bill was necessary because current laws made it hard for private research organizations to contribute to a funding body such as the National Research Foundation. Fifth news, the National Organ and Tissue Transplant Organization (NATO) has issued a warning against private websites and social media posts promoting and offering organs for trade. The organization said the online promotion was in violation of the provisions of the Transplantation of Human Organ and Tissue Act 1994 and rules. Such activities were punishable offence under Section 18 of the Act, with fines ranging from 20 lakh rupees to 1 crore rupees and imprisonment from 5 to 10 years. The NATO is mandated to establish a network for organ procurement and distribution and to maintain a national registry on organ donation and transplantation. Sixth news, rankings and the realities of higher education. Now, this is an opinion article on the National Institutional Ranking Framework which was recently released. Now, this news comes under the topic of issues relating to development and management of social sector services relating to education and human resources. This is the 8th consecutive edition of rankings of higher education institutions in 5 categories: overall, universities, colleges, research institutions, and innovations, and 8 subject domains from engineering to agriculture and allied sectors. The NIRF evaluates institutions on 5 parameters: teaching, learning and resources, graduation outcome, in research and professional practices, outreach and inclusivity, and perception. There are a few issues highlighted by the expert in the NIRF ranking. The first is the issue of participation of institutions. As per the All India Survey on Higher Education 2021, there are 1,113 universities and 43,796 colleges in 2020-21. This implies that only 12.3% of higher educational institutions participated in the ranking process. Now, there is a lack of information on the parameters decided by NIRF for the remaining 87.7% of higher education institutions is a matter of concern. Now, the second issue is the incongruence between quantity and quality. Of the top 100 colleges ranked by NIRF, 35 are from Tamil Nadu, 32 from Delhi, 14 from Kerala, and the remaining are from the rest of India. According to All India Survey of Higher Education, Uttar Pradesh has the highest number of colleges in the country, followed by Maharashtra and Karnataka. So you can see their quantity is not proportionate to the quality they are offering. The fact that 81% of high quality colleges are in 3 states highlights the need for a mission to improve quality across the country. Now, the third issue stems from the close correlation between faculty strength and rankings. The average number of faculty in the top 100 universities is 645, while for the remaining universities it is only 242. Even in the case of engineering, where the ranking is often advertised by the institutions, only 33.98% adhere to the All India Council of Technical Education prescribed faculty student ratio of 1:20. Faculty strength and quality also get reflected in scientific publications, that is 87.71% of the scholarly output from India comes from eligible institutions in the overall category. This means that 12.3% of institutions contribute close to 90% of scholarly output in the country. So, what may be done? The rankings underscore the urgent need for quality enhancement in the higher education system. It requires substantial financial resources. Now, take a look at the following data. India's share in the overall world scientific publications is about 4.81%. And you know, our contribution to population is more than 17%. In comparison, China's share of world publication increased from 5% in 2000 to 26% in 2018. That is more than its contribution to the population. This was facilitated by massive research investments by the Chinese government. If rankings are to serve the purpose of being an input for informed evidence-based policy decisions, then budgetary outlays for higher education needs a quantum jump in India. Thank you for watching. Let us know your feedback in the comments and keep visiting our website, Telegram, Instagram and Twitter.